All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, Great Millstone, who teach very well. One like this truth realm. And salutation out there to the hopeful elect who continue to push his word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. Today, just coming with a quick little video about the destruction of Babylon. Because before these things happened, it was prophesied here in the scriptures. And even though these things are unfolding here in these latter days, why these people, they confused. Hey, we know that these things are actually according to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai plans, man. You know? And what's a part of his plans and his perfect will is the destruction and the downfall of this Western society. Because this society totally pushed everything that's contrary into the ways of the Heavenly Father. So like from children having more authority than the parents, you know what I'm saying? The women ruling over the man, the LGXYZ, the dietary laws, So what do you think that the Lord is going to give this place back? You think he's going to let this place prosper forever? No. It's only a matter of time before the Lord destroy this place. So I have an article from telegraph.co.uk. I ain't got the full article, but the headline says it all. It says, "This was the year the West died. 2026 may be even worse. European weakness over Ukraine and overdependence on Trump has left us dangerously exposed. A bigger disaster may be on the horizon." And what's that bigger disaster? World War III. And the reason why these Americans are panicking like this because they never had any type of sorrow. And it tells you that right here in the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter. I'm going to start off at verse 1. "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." Right there, that virgin daughter of Babylon put America up on the scene because America never been touched by any major war. The only war that have been on American soil was the Civil War, and there was basically self-on-self crime, like a woman touching herself, man. She haven't went through the bombings that Britain went through, man. They ain't been through the wars that China, even over there in Vietnam. A lot of times, Americans do they miss elsewhere. They don't really have any type of threats here in the Western Hemisphere because it's on the other side of the lake. But even then, that Venezuela situation, Venezuela is in the coop with Russia. Hopefully, Lord willing, that things continue to ramp up and pop some off. But just going back, America never had any major wars here. That's why the Lord compared it to virgin daughter of Babylon. But now it's people can actually touch America through the form of a button, through the form of a nuclear weapon. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and continue on. It says, "Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for there shall no more be called tender and delicate." Yes, that's why it says this was the year that the West died, and 2026 is going to be worse. So America is not that delicate tenderoni back in the 1950s. Actually, everybody have became aware of your scheme, full of lack of better words, man. Continuing on, "Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover the locks," and that's by the way of the prophets, man. "Make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the river." And that's Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai exposing you. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You're the so-called white man. You're the ones that pushed out the children, in 70 AD in Masada. You're the one that poured us out after the Babylonian captivity, man. Ultimately, the Lord is making a fact that Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of even today. They say one of the most dangerous things is a middle-aged white man. Let's go ahead and continue on. Why? Because he's an Edomite. It says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, thy shame shall be seen." Because for years, these people have been hiding under the banner of deceit. A perfect example, before the truth came out, Christopher Columbus was a hero, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. But once this truth started coming out, for lack of better words, shame have started to be upon your glory, man. The same way that you got on top, you thought people was going to forget about it. Now people are calling you out on your BS. You're very known as a colonizer. You're known as a thief. But like in this even in the scriptures, the thief coming not but to steal and to kill and to destroy. Even certain parts upon the planet Earth, if you in America, you can't come. Because they know what type of stigma that comes with that, man. It's a stigma that comes with the Western Hemisphere. And that's why the Lord must destroy this place. Let's go and continue on. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not beat thee as a man. And yes, the Lord is going to take vengeance upon this place. Why? Because America is nothing but Rome 2.0. The same people that crucified the Lord, guess what? Even though the Roman Empire is long gone away with, guess what? This revised Roman Empire, the Roman Empire 2.0, you're going to get it. That's why the Lord said he's going to take vengeance and he will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Yes, our Redeemer, Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, the Lord of hosts. That word host goes back into Sabbath oath, which actually means what? The Lord of armies. So when the Lord come and to America, he's not going to come with our hugs and kisses. No, he's going to come with war. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get some bag that up, man. Let's go right here in the book of Revelations. Because this guy have been waging war throughout the whole planet Earth. And nobody could really take this guy out. So it's going to have to take a divine power to ultimately take out Esau Edom, man. Please bear with me, I can. Yeah, this is the book of Revelations 19, and I'm going to jump down to verse 11. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. It's putting Yahweh Shai upon the scene, right? Continuing on, it says, in righteousness doth he judge and make war. Again, that's why Yahweh Shai called one of his many names is what? The Lord of Sabbath oath. Because why? Ultimately, nobody could really mess with Esau upon the planet Earth. So he think he's the guy. He think he's going to be the top guy forever, not knowing it was still up for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai to take down this beast system, this Western Hemisphere. Let's get this real quick in Revelation 13. And I'm going to jump down to verse 4. It says, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Now that beast is really this beast system. This democracy, and ultimately this beast system will try to force a tiny little device upon you so you can pledge your allegiance to this system. But it says saying who is like unto this beast, who is able to make war with him. So who was able to make war with the Western Hemisphere, man? Ultimately they have the ICBM nuclear missiles, and even then, even if somebody tried to invade this place, it will be very difficult, But at the same time, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai set up this place for his name to be glorified, just like Egypt was set up, just like Nebuchadnezzar was set up. So guess what? The Lord set up the so-called white man here in these latter days, so his name can be exalted, Let's go ahead and go back to this Isaiah 47, and I'm going to jump down to verse 5. It says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. Yes, the valley of the shadow of death, man. Because, the light is very dim for your future. It says, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Yes, you're not going to be example of what everybody want to be like. Because once you even go into now, these different Chinese people, they change their garments to three-piece suits. These Africans, instead of wearing dashikis, they wearing tuxedo. Why? Because they looking for America for acceptance, man. America is basically an example of what success look like. But guess what? America should be an example of what wickedness is, man. That's why the Lord must destroy this place. Continuing on. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Yes, because why? Jake ultimately is polluted because they're going into the ways of Esau. Niggas don't even want to trust into the Lord, It says, thou didst shew them no mercy. And yes, you whoop Jake ass and everything like that. And Jake still love Esau, man. Jake still get worse. Only thing they do, you got to march down the street once or twice and everything go back to normal 2 weeks later. And nigga just bring up the nigga who died for argument's sake. Not saying that nigga probably deserved that, man. But let's go ahead and continue on. It says, upon the ancient hast thou heavily laid the yoke. Yes, and even then, they trying to move up the age of Social Security. But at the same time, it just shows you how wicked this devil is. Let's continue on. It says, and thou shalt set, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things into thy heart. Yes, you saying you was going to rule forever. And that's why, again, it says in 2025, this is the year that this place died. And ultimately, it's going to get worse, man. It's a thing called circling down the drain. And that's the process that America's in right now. The economy is shit. The people is bugged out. And ultimately, you on the edge of war, man. Continuing on. It says, neither did I remember the latter end of it. Yes, your latter end will be with destruction. Therefore, hear now this. Thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that says in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. You saying you the Most High. Just because the Lord gave you this wicked system to rule over for a period of time, you think that you're going to rule forever. That's why you're trying to push out this seed here. It says, I shall not be a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Basically saying you're not going to lose your kingdom. Continuing on, but these things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. The loss of children and widowhood. They shall come unto thee in their perfection. Yes, and how it's going to come to you in your perfection? In the form of those ICBM nuclear missiles, man. Because why? That's the perfect missile. That's the perfect weapon to destroy this place. And you know it. That's why everybody's scared to use it. For that mutual assured destruction, for the multitude of thy great sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. Yes, that left-handed energy. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. Yes, you trusted in yourself, you trusted in the flesh, and ultimately you trusted that Job 9:24 was going to be forever, not knowing that it was only going to be for a moment, man. Because if the Lord let you continue to rule, then guess what? No flesh shall be saved. He says, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, those missiles, that aerial attack shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, because you cannot escape it, man. That's a weapon that's unescapable. That's why they're mutual assured destruction. Soon as it gets shot off, you know somebody dying. And somebody else going to shut theirs off. The only way you're going to get out of it is through a chariot, man. What these people call a UFO. Continuing on. That thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantment. Stand with that left-handed energy. And with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from my youth. Yes, because this nigga, he sent curses upon Israel through his music. He set up niggas that lead people astray. So the Lord telling you, keep on trusting it. If it be so, it's like if thou be shot, be able to profit. If be so, thou mayest prevail. So you might win if you keep on trusting that left-handed energy. But this is the Lord being facetious. Basically telling you that you're still going to lose, man. Because everything is controlled by Yahweh Shemawashai. It says, thou art weary in the multitude of thy stargazers. Let now the astrologers and stargazers and monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Yes, let's see if they're going to save you from the will of the Lord. Behold, they shall be as stubble, so no. And shall burn them, they shall not be able to deliver themselves from the power of the flame. So you're not going to be able to deliver yourselves from the ICBM nuclear missiles. There shall not be a coal to be warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. Yes, because you're going to be stubble. Only thing the Lord is going to leave into this place, especially in this Western Hemisphere, is with dust, man. It ain't going to be nothing but a big desert. But at the same time, just going back, it just shows you how the Western Hemisphere was prophesied that this place was going to fall. So yeah, I pray that this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Kakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostle, Elders Millstone, and Shalom.